Hey, good morning, less lethal people. So somebody in one of my YouTube videos asked me, could I explain more about the detent for the HDP50 and the detent that I made? A lot of guys out there that are familiar with my content already know about it, so forgive me if I'm being a little redundant, but I should put a video out there. So this is the HDP50, and what happens is when you're shooting any type of riot ball, especially if they're steel or aluminum, over time, the stock detent, and the detent is the piece that holds the ball in and doesn't make it roll out the barrel, that wears out. The one that the company makes is very flimsy material, and when you start shooting high joules and you modify this, and then you add different projectiles or different weighted ones, it winds up tearing up the new detent really fast, like within, 3 or 4 uses sometimes, depending on what you're shooting. So what the detent basically does is it goes over the back of the barrel. Now I have two here. I have the one that I made and I have the stock one. So this is the stock one. And it's made of some really, you can actually, as I hold it up to the light, you can actually see through this detent. That's how cheap, flimsy, and crappy it is. So basically, if my finger were the barrel, it goes on the end of the barrel, like so. And what happens is when the ball goes through here and up into here, there's a loading gate there. The ball is sitting here waiting to go. And then when you pull the trigger, the air shoots the ball through here and it comes out. I'm squeezing it, and it comes out like so and goes down your barrel. So, and you could see inside of here, if I hold it right, there's a little, like a ring, an extra piece of rubber where it's actually thicker. It's very hard to see with the camera, but, oh, here we go. You could see how it's thicker around the edge, and that's what holds the projectile in place. Now, this projectile fits through you have to really kind of push it. And I have developed a very durable one that so far nobody has broken yet. And guys like Jeff Mackey, he's shooting 100 joules out of this thing with his HPA and all his barrel attachments and everything, steel balls, and he hasn't broken them yet. But the great news is, even if you did use it for months and months and it wound up breaking, you just contact me and you get a new one. The company does not make these detents available to my knowledge, and even if they did, why would you want it? They break after 4 or 5 uses, and they limit the power. I've developed one. Now you could see here's the stock one, and here's mine. Okay, you cannot see through mine. Mine is a much thicker 3D printed material. I also have the lip inside. You can clearly see it on this one when I hold it up to the light, and I'll try to hold it around this way. It's thicker, yeah, right there. You could see just right there. It's a little thicker and a little wider, the band. So what happens is my ball sits there. As I drop it, my pinky's pushing it out. I gotta pull this off. So it sits there like so in the barrel, and it doesn't fall through or anything. It's nice and snug, and when the air hits it, pop, it goes through. I'll do it again. I don't know if I was in camera. And when the air hits it, like so, you'll hear a little pop, it goes through. And that's what you want. You want it to sit there and not fall out the barrel while you're walking around carrying your HDP50. Now, some projectiles fit tighter than others. That slows it down if it's really tight, because that gives like a ball drag. Some are looser than others, and then they would fall through. I have not had that problem yet, actually. I've had nothing fall through this. It holds pepper balls just fine. So you can shoot pepper balls from this, even in a highly modified marker, and I haven't broken any pepper balls in there yet. What I'm shooting and what I find to be the best match for this HDP50, and if you watch my video last night, what I'm putting through steel pans, or the baking pans rather. Maybe they're, I don't know what they are, but they're baking pans. I'm using these. They're 3.4 grams, I believe. They're almost 4 grams, and they're a PVC ball that has a steel bearing inside of it. All right, and that's where I get it from. And I'll be honest with you, everything I had, I haven't cracked one yet, and they're working good. You know, some of it I think is the projectile. The other part of it is the marker and how I have it modified. So what I do to modify this marker, well, I dye the slide black. Okay, it's not painted, this is dyed. I do it in boiling water, and I dye it black, and then I put the fiber optic sights back in. And you got to be careful doing that. They can break, but you can buy fiber optic rods on the internet, and you can do any color you want, really. So what I do is I add the Home Defense 24 red CO2 restrictor in the handle. And how I put it in there is I drop it in and I get it seated the right way. Then I put an empty CO2 canister in there and I crank it down with the Allen key, and that makes it seat because the back part of the CO2 cartridge presses it in firmly in an even amount, and it seats it the right way. So that's how I put that in. I do not use the little red pin that's in the kit. Let me show you a kit. I think I have some kits here. So in the kit, I only use this piece on the HDP50. They have a new one now. They put a little O-ring on it. It seems to work good. So I only use this little CO2 restrictor. I do not swap out anymore for the shorter pin. It's useless. It does absolutely nothing. As you could see in my video, I'm getting actually more power, and this is the best power I've ever gotten on a modified marker. So I just put that in. Then I remove the valve block completely from the HDP50. When I take it off, I put something through and I knock the valve block out. Then after I do that, there's a little O-ring that sits over here. It's a black one. Let me show you. I have it right here. The crappy ones. I thought I had them here. I don't, but oh yeah, I have a bunch of them because I take them off. So there's a little black crappy O-ring that comes with it, and it's on there. It's very thin, it's very flimsy, and you could even see from the pressure of the spring pushing on it, it actually indents around the hole. It's very hard to see. Yeah, here you could see it indents around the whole thing. You could see the rim of where the metal pushes on here from the spring loaded, from the big spring on there. I get rid of this now, and I buy the thicker Grimberg. You could use the John Wicks and any of those O-rings you would use to modify the heat core O-ring in a TCP. It's got the same inner diameter here, and it's a little narrower as far as this size goes. Fits on perfectly, and that will I guarantee you probably never break on you. If it did, I'd be really amazed. So I use that O-ring in conjunction with the stock pin, and it actually pushes it out a little, making the stock pin not shorter, but pushing it out maybe another millimeter or two, and because it's thicker than this one. And then I just use that and my detent. That's my 1, 2, 3, 4 modifications that I use for this particular marker, and I'm getting really, really tremendous power. I would really use this and bet my life. This will, I feel confident that it would save me with this. And you could shoot pepper balls too with it. You know, you put 1 or 2 kinetics first in here, and they're coming out doing the damage that I did in that other video, blowing through metal pans. And then you put a pepper ball in here, even if it's a Lancer tactical pepper ball and you don't think it's that powerful. I've been exposed to them. It's miserable. You sneeze, you burn, it's horrible. Anybody that has that done to them, you got the advantage over that person. I'm telling you, you hit them with 2 kinetics from this, and then you hit them with 1 or 2 pepper balls afterwards, you are fine. So those of you that were wondering about the detent, these are mine. You can always reach out and contact me. I have them. And if you're going to modify this marker and you have it open, there's no reason why you shouldn't put this on there. This and the O-ring. I'm going to reach out to John Wixon later on this weekend, maybe today or tomorrow. He has them for a really good price, the O-rings. He sells them too, so you don't have to go to Grimberg anymore. I saw them on his site, and I'm going to order a few packs of them from him so I can get a few of these going. And anybody that has one of these and just wants it modified, contact me. I'll help you out with that. I can walk you through it too, even via FaceTime if you want to try it yourself. I don't mind doing it when I have free time. It's a lot of fun. I love helping the community out. So guys, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.